Have you ever shared good news with a friend and walked away feeling smaller instead of happy? They asked the right questions, they nodded, they listened, but something about it didn't feel right. That's because some people don't ask questions to connect with you. They ask to measure themselves against you. And today, we're breaking down the 3 questions jealous friends always ask and why you don't realize what's happening until you're already drained. Friendship is supposed to feel safe, right? You share things, you celebrate together. Your guard drops because you trust them. But not all friendships run on support. Some run on scorekeeping. And jealousy isn't always loud. It doesn't always look like anger. Sometimes it looks like curiosity. Sometimes it sounds like concern. The questions jealous friends ask aren't meant to help you. They're meant to measure you. Let me show you exactly how. Question number 1. How did you actually do that? The first question sounds harmless. Maybe it even feels flattering. Wait, how did you actually do that? It feels normal, right? But here's what's really happening. When you win and they don't, their brain feels threatened. There's a part of the brain that processes social loss the same way it processes physical pain. So when they ask this, they're not trying to learn from you. They're trying to locate the reason your success shouldn't count. They're asking, what advantage did you have that I didn't? Psychologists call this upward social comparison. Instead of feeling inspired, they start scanning for loopholes. Maybe you got lucky. Maybe someone helped you. Maybe it wasn't really that hard. And the tone is always slightly off. Not warm, not cold, just extractive. If you've ever explained something you were proud of and walked away feeling smaller than before, this was the question doing the damage. Question number 2, are you sure that's going to work out? The second question never sounds jealous. It shows up dressed as concern. That sounds exciting, but are you sure that's going to work out? At first, it feels like they're being realistic, like they're just looking out for you. But jealousy doesn't want you to fail. It just doesn't want you to succeed more than them. So instead of stopping you directly, they plant a seed of doubt, not to protect you, to slow you down. Because if you hesitate, if you start second-guessing yourself, they feel safer. And there's real psychology behind this. When someone close to you succeeds, especially at the same age, same career, same life stage, your brain can experience a threatened self-concept. Your success becomes a mirror, and jealous people hate mirrors. So instead of cheering you on, they zoom in on everything that could go wrong. And if you're already anxious or self-critical, that question doesn't disappear. It lives in your head for days. That's not concern. That's sabotage, wearing a sweater and smiling. Question number 3. Who else knows about this? The third question is the quietest one. So casual you almost don't register it. Oh, wow, who else knows about this? It sounds harmless, but what they're really asking is something else entirely. They're asking, where do I rank in your life? Jealous friends are obsessed with position. They need to know if they were first, second, or last. And if they weren't near the top, their brain experiences it as exclusion. And to the human brain, exclusion feels like pain. But here's the twist. They don't actually want to be closer to you. They want control over how your story gets told. So by asking who else knows, they're collecting information. Maybe they'll tell someone before you do. Maybe they'll add their own version. Maybe they'll quietly downplay it before it spreads. Psychologists call this triangulation. It's a manipulation tactic where someone inserts themselves between you and others to manage perception. And the scariest part is, you won't notice it happening. You'll just feel a little more distance, a little less warmth, a gap you can't quite explain. Because jealous friends don't destroy you loudly, they erode you quietly. So what happens when this keeps happening? Not once, not twice, but over time. First, you stop trusting your own happiness. You start editing yourself. You share less. You downplay your wins. You say things like, it's not a big deal, even when it is. Psychologists call this self-silencing. It's what happens when your emotions are repeatedly treated like a problem. And slowly, something deeper starts to shift. You begin doubting yourself. You wonder if you are too sensitive, if you're imagining things, if maybe you're the problem. But listen to me carefully. Your nervous system isn't lying to you. If someone's questions leave you feeling drained, smaller, or on edge, that's not connection. That's extraction. Real friends ask questions that build you up. Jealous friends ask questions that size you up. And once you see the difference, you can't unsee it. So here's the question that really matters. What's lonelier, having no friends or having friends who quietly hope you don't outgrow them? I don't have all the answers, but I know this. You deserve people who don't shrink when you grow. You're allowed to protect your energy. You're allowed to stop pouring into relationships that only feel warm when you're smaller. And if you recognize these 3 questions in someone close to you, you're not overthinking it. You're just finally seeing clearly. If this video helped you name something you felt but couldn't explain, subscribe. This channel is about psychology that helps you understand your mind and the people around you. And remember, the people who celebrate you quietly are often more real than the ones who congratulate you loudly. I'll see you in the next one.